3, 2, 1, 0.
The purpose of the flight of Apollo 7 could be stated very simply. Prove that the spacecraft command and service modules would function properly in space, long enough to carry men to the moon and back. Before men can use the lunar module as an operational lunar spacecraft, it must be tested in space. This was the primary purpose of Apollo 9, the third manned Apollo mission.
Because here we are, 50 years after those first landings. And I think 500 years from now, that's going to be the only thing they really think about in our century.
In my mind, 5,000 years from now, 50,000 years from now, whatever of humanity remains or has evolved, we'll still look back and realize that it was 50 years ago from now that humans first left the Earth. At Christmas of 1968, three friends of ours, Frank Borman, Bill Andrews, and Jim Lovell, were flying around the moon. Their job was to look at the craters of the moon. We didn't know much about the craters. All of a sudden, up over the horizon came the Earth. All of life, everything that means anything, is out there on that planet. And these were the first human beings that had the opportunity to realize that that's the home of all life in our little corner of the universe. That's me. I was up there on Apollo 9. But I said to myself, okay, this is my time as a human being. I want to really absorb what is happening, and looked at this incredible scene. And this understanding came right away. This is a special moment. How did I get here? You realize all of life is down there. We are all related. We're one family.
I am hoping that we do not lose feeling and the motivation and the willingness to give up a lot of things as we move forward. You're facing a big problem going forward to be able to afford, have the commitment to keep moving this society on.
I think the key in the future to moving ahead, as in my opinion we need to, is to get into space and to begin to exploit resources in space to provide the energy and the resources to move further out. And to me, that's the big challenge of the immediate future. I had the sense that I owed a great deal to the public, was to open doors that I could never open before, to take on responsibilities that I could never have taken on if I had not flown on Apollo. I've put my time and energy into dealing with a fundamental existential issue. If we use our brain and we use our technology and actually eliminate future impacts of asteroids with the Earth. I did not experience being scared at all in the flight.
Did anything scare you in flight?
No. The only thing I really worried about was making sure I got a chance to make a flight. I remember I got irritated by all the paperwork I had to fill out. And I remember feeling very fortunate that I got selected. I remember being aware of what could cost you your life, but I always felt with me and the other people in that cockpit, the three of us, that we would do whatever was necessary to make it successful.
What a dramatic final question. Not only did we not have a freezer, we didn't have a heater either. Food is a real challenge in space. Mainly, especially in the early days, because you would have to get the food ready, tested, developed, packaged, etc., a year before it would ever be eaten.
Apollo 7 was called 101% successful, and the next manned Apollo flight can be undertaken with confidence that our brand new spacecraft is, as Commander Walter Schirra reported, a magnificent flying machine.